Morena, Wairarapa. Rob Maunsell here with MMP for the 11th of March. And I have my special guests today from Age Concern, Susan Esler and Anthony Opero. I've got your mics not turned up yet, so let's have that again.
Okay.
Hello, Susan. Hello, Anthony. Cool. So we're going to hope the technology works in our favour this morning. So let's get back to you shortly, but I would like to give a few events, because the point of this program is to let you know what's happening in the Wairarapa. And to start our MMP show for today, Susan's going to let us know some of what's happening in the North Wairarapa. All yours, Susan.
Okay, so the 12th and the 13th of March, we have the Kumaroa Sheepdog Trials. They're at 427 Hopelands Road in Woodville from 7 a.m. for those early risers. This is the 109th annual trial, so it should be an amazing day. The 14th of March, we have Charlie Chaplin, The Kid, a silent movie with live music. Contact Nikki. Her phone number is 021 209 8210. That's upstairs, cinema, Main Street, Pahiatua. There is a price for that of $15 and it starts at 3 p.m. This is a fundraiser for the Pahiatua Repertory Society. A picture with laughter and a few tears indeed. Charlie Chaplin was perhaps the most innovative person of the silent era and certainly the most famous. And a bit of music is happening at Pongaroa on the 20th of March. It's Jazz in the Park. Contact for that is David on 0274 765 041. The venue is the Pongaroa Hotel from 2 p.m. till 4. Get out your deck chair and come along and enjoy free live music in your park this summer in the Tararua district. The free events suitable for the whole family, and local artist Bandy McJazz Band are playing there.
How do you think the country music folk up there will take to the jazz at the Pongaroa Hotel?
Hopefully very well.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of crossover these days, isn't there?
There is.
You know, a band calls itself a jazz band, and then they play Folsom Prison Blues. Or Wagon Wheel. Yeah. Cool.
Catering for everyone's taste.
Yeah. So we're
introducing new genre.
Yes.
Experiencing it.
Yes.
Broadening their horizon.
Well, exactly, and it might have been that they heard their uncle or the neighbour was into jazz, and they went there, and it was music that they couldn't quite relate to. Have we not got?
It probably needs boosting. He sounds very quiet.
Yeah. Okay. So talk into the mic, Anthony. That's another trick. We're just getting set up here, folks, and seeing as we are going to be concerning ourselves with age and well-being, and the show that's coming up on Saturday week,
the 20th, yes.
20th of March at the Solway Showgrounds.
It's Fleet Street entrance.
Fleet Street entrance. That's the same entrance we go in for the farmers market.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Farmers market on that day as well. So
yes.
Won't be a traffic jam, hopefully.
No. Well, let's talk about how we're going to organise that. But to introduce the theme, I thought we'd listen to Neil Young playing Old Man.
See the lonely boy out on the weekend, trying to make it pay. Can relate to joy, he tries to speak and can't begin to say. I think I'll pack it in and buy a pickup, take it down to LA. call my own and try to fix up, start a brand new day. The woman I'm thinking of, she loved me all up, but I'm so down today. She's so fine, she's in my mind, I hear her calling. See the lonely boy out on the weekend, trying to make it pay. Can't relate to joy, he tries to speak and can't begin to say. She got pictures on the wall, they made me look up from her big brass bed. Ooh. Somewhere in her head, see the lonely boy out on the weekend, trying to make it pay. See the lonely boy out on the weekend, trying to make it pay.
Thank you. Here we are back again, folks. That was On a Weekend by Neil Young. We were trying to get Old Man, but the BBC concert started with On a Weekend, and it was fitting in a way, because the theme that Neil's exploring there is loneliness and not feeling like you're included or you've got a place to belong. And I think that's one of the issues for older people, isn't it? You know, older people, their friends are dying, their spouse might have died, and here they are trying to keep things going and keep things relevant, keep connected. So how do your services work? Let's talk about age concern to start with.
So we have a community friendship service, accredited visiting, that is run by Fran. She matches people up with some volunteers that have been police vetted to suit the person that wants some one-on-one visiting once a week.
Yeah.
So that service sort of keeps them connected and gives them the opportunity to have time, speaking to someone, because as you say, we do have a lot of lonely people in their homes, lucky that they're still in their own homes, but they can be quite isolated. So having someone coming in that they know is coming on a certain day gives them something to look forward to.
So how do you hear about a person in need? Do you get referrals from various agencies?
Yes, we do get referrals, and part of our new role is trying to get out into our community and educating organisations and groups that we may be able to come and talk to about what our service provides, and hopefully that will pump up our referrals and self-referrals as well. We have people coming in just asking what we do, because our office is at Solway Showgrounds, and sometimes they're going to other events that are there as well.
So people can come and have an appointment with you at your office?
We're open from 9 till 2, 9 till 3.
Yeah.
So they can just drop in and see what we're doing and what we can offer.
Yeah.
And we can give them the information They can become a member of Age Concern as well. It's normally annual fee of $20,
Yeah.
but now it's down to 10 because we're halfway through the year.
Yeah.
So they can come to our coffee mornings. So that's not just in Marston, but also South Wairarapa as well.
Yes.
And we have
Line dancing?
exercise classes, all those sorts of things to try and get people mobile, because being mobile is all part of keeping our mind healthy as well.
Move, mingle, and play.
Yeah,
Move, mingle,
movement.
and play.
Yes,
Yeah, the core things to mental and emotional health.
exactly.
Yeah, and physical health too.
Yes,
Physical.
And it's amazing how much exercise is now taking a place in lifestyle therapy or lifestyle medicine. People are appreciating the value of exercise. It even prevents Alzheimer's.
yes.
Some of the latest research shows. Yeah, not overly vigorous exercise.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be painful, but regular.
That's the key, I think, regular.
Yeah,
Mm.
habit. Make a habit of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Daily
like that song, that See the Lonely Boy Out on the Weekend.
Mm.
And the reason why I like it is because even though it's saying see the lonely boy, sometimes in a crowd of people, and what I'm talking about is in your home, even though it might be vibrant, the older person can be still lonely because of the things that you mentioned. You know, the husband or wife may have been departed, their friends have gone.
Yes.
And so we think that, everything's good, we're all talking great, but sometimes we miss out talking to the person,
Yes.
the older person. So
Yes.
they're still lonely in an environment which is really vibrant.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do we... It's about getting that message out.
Yeah.
What
but
is happening?
they're being missed out,
They're
aren't they?
being missed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're being missed out. And so
Mm.
we need to be aware of that also.
Mm.
That loneliness doesn't have to mean by yourself.
No.
It can be in a home as well with many people in it.
And personalities play a big part in it, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
We can't always change our personality, but we can be reminded of the place we should take, which is not always number one.
That's right. That's right. Some
3-year-olds
might need to take care.
3-year-olds have to be number one.
I think
Mum usually takes care of that.
I think too, in families, as you say, Anthony, we may be buzzing around doing our family stuff, and an older person or someone that's not getting involved feels left out, and making sure that they're included in other things. Sometimes we do things for them because we want to help them out because they might be frail or something like that, but actually giving them a purpose for their day, like, Mum, or Dad, you're in charge of doing the dishes after we all go, or, giving them something to do that they feel valued at. In our fast lives these days, we quite often do everything.
Yes.
And forget that, when you leave the home, they're sitting there, and they haven't got a purpose for their day. So Age Concern is really good in that way, because we can get them out to the coffee morning and get them involved in the fitness and wellbeing side of it, and other courses that are run there as well.
Yeah.
Or even going outside and getting them to water the garden.
Yep.
Yeah, because as we talk about exercise, walking outside is exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, because when I believe anyway, and because you're a doctor, you can feed into this, seeing what's out there as opposed to an empty room, and what's happening out in the environment triggers their neurons. And because you see something beautiful, or there's those endorphin rushes that help pleasure endorphins.
Yes.
So just going outside and watering the garden or whatever.
Yeah, and having a relationship with the plants.
And having a relationship, because everything
the
is
being
relational.
of the plants.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is relational.
Yeah, sure.
So that's my thoughts on exercise. Doesn't have to be, as you said, strenuous.
No.
Okay. Even hanging out the washing, even washing the dishes, as Susan said. That's and for me, it's part of that conversation. If you do it with them, it's you start conversing with them instead of them just being in the seat and not talking to them.
Yes.
Because what I've learned is that when you open yourself up to someone else's world, they'll open up to your world.
Yes. Yes.
And then as that, you grow more and connect more because of being together.
Yes. Yeah. It's a subtle thing, isn't it?
It is.
And people can become discouraged They might have had years of feeling neglected or misunderstood or not having anybody take an interest in them. And you've got to break through that somehow, don't you? You've got to warm them from being, in a sense, cold. Socially, they've been in a cold space.
Yes.
And they need warming.
Yes.
And this is preventative health. It's social oiling.
Yes, it is.
And it's heart medicine,
Yeah.
isn't it, in
It's
a way? And it's
really
good for all of
medicine.
us to do these things.
Yeah. And as Susan said, sometimes in our busyness, let's reel it back a bit more. And it was saying, well, what is really important? Is it family? Is it the people that we're around? I think there's a mindset change that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And it's a cultural thing. I'm not talking Māori ethnicity. I'm talking about lifestyle.
No.
Yeah.
No, well, the Maori articulate it much more directly, I think, although it's not necessarily heard and appreciated. But funnily enough, the research that's being done now, social preventative medicine type research, is showing very interesting things. Myths are being dispelled. One of them is that the brain can't heal, that the cells in the brain just die. But what happens if there's an area of the brain that's damaged? New areas can open up to take the place of those damaged pathways, but that requires the right type of encouragement, the right type of nutrition, enough sleep. So attending to a person's disturbed sleep pattern can be a major influence in improving their health. And yet often as doctors we don't ask people how they're sleeping. But mainly because we've only got drugs to offer. We think we have only got drugs to offer which we know are addictive. So why would we start people on those drugs? And what else can we do? Well, actually there's a lot more we can do. Just raising the subject and valuing it for the person and saying, this is what you have got to work on. I mightn't have the solution for it, but you can find it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a path of progress and interest rather than just suffering the consequences of quite a significant symptom.
I like that. What else can we do? Attitude. Because if we look at the world as it is today, was it the same as it was 40 years ago, 50 years ago? No. Because it was, what else can we do? How do we make it better? And as you said, there's a saying, man is not an island unto himself, but part of a continent. And so with that, okay, it's not one person has all the knowledge. No, everyone is like a body.
Yes.
Everyone contributes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we need to communicate and be open to contribute in order for others to get the treasures that we have within ourselves.
Yes, and we need a goal, don't we? In a way, or many goals. It's a bit like climbing a mountain.
Yes.
And on that theme, we've got a Tim Finn song to listen to before we hear a bit more about this Aging with Attitude Expo.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here is Tim Finn.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
The view is worth the climb. Tim Finn, from an album of the same name. A view is worth the climb, and that's kind of a little bit connected with our theme of aging with attitude. If you aren't prepared to climb, you've got some difficulties. And my new friends Susan and Anthony are here to encourage people to have a climb and consider that the view is worth it. So, Susan, you've got this expo planned for Saturday week, March the 20th at the Solway Showgrounds. How's it going to work? How do people find out a bit more about it? What can they expect when they get there?
Hopefully you are receiving the midweek, and I think yesterday and Friday some people receive it. It's got all the information in it about exhibitors and what to expect at our expo. It's going to feature health providers, retirement, living options, products for all of us to learn about. There's going to be lots of interaction. I think we've got over 50 exhibitors, and we've still got some people that are applying now to come, so the word's getting around that it's going to be a great day, and there's going to be lots of variety. So when you arrive, you receive a tote bag and some information, timetable as well at that stage, and have a look round. The exhibitors will be in some of our the halls there. If everyone comes in through the Fleet Street entrance, Age Concern is right in front of you there. You can tiki tour off to your right and go to the farmers market, or you can detour to us first and have a look around. It's from 10 till around about 3 o'clock. So there are guest speakers and lots of entertainment from the Solway College girls are going to be entertaining most of the day. There'll be tea and coffee. There's going to be food there as well. The RSA are bringing their own historic Jeep, so that should be fun to have a look at, but mostly around your mobility Wairarapa, who are going to be having scooters set up for us on a small course to have a go at seeing how well you can drive your scooter. Lots of information and lots of things around health, as well as
Have you got any cooking classes?
No, but you can watch the guys preparing your food, and that might be a bit of a cooking
so you're
intrigue.
feeding people, but
Yes, we're
not
gonna feed
teaching them
them.
about what can happen with food that's good for your health.
I think we will probably have someone there that's going to be discussing that. Yeah, a nutritionist. And dietitian.
There will be a
There will
dietitian.
be a dietitian there.
Because it's so important, isn't it, that people who are struggling with perhaps chronic illnesses that they have come to terms with to some extent, that they maximise their potential to heal by eating well.
Yes.
And get a good knowledge base for that. There's a lot of research showing that plant-based diets are really good for everybody, especially in the Alzheimer's field. Are you going to be covering that subject a bit?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
good.
sure we will.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's will be there as well.
Tam Williams from Alzheimer's,
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand.
Yep.
They're there as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And health providers, there'll
So
be.
it doesn't have to be kind of like a terrible predictive reality that someone in the family's got Alzheimer's. They're becoming demented, because you can help, and you can certainly prevent things getting worse, and you can learn from it so that you don't fall into possibly the same traps. I think overuse of alcohol is a major cause of illness in the elderly. They get into a habit, having a gin or 2 or 3, 5 o'clock, gin time, or wine or beer or homemade something or other, but it's all alcohol. And we just can't deal with it as we get older.
No,
We probably can't deal with it when we're younger either, but the toxic effects kind of go away because we've got youth on our side. But as we get older, they just stick around, and they're insidious. The lack of movement, loss of balance, and the mental changes that can happen. Anyway, that's my little rave.
So the whole it is around ageing with attitude. So we are hoping a lot of younger people will come along as well.
Yes.
It just gives you the opportunity to see what's out there, and we're talking about making plans for as we get older, and having those great health and fitness options as well.
It's not just for the elderly.
No.
This is what we want to put over to get across. Aging with attitude is for the whole family, because if you have no knowledge, then you have no knowledge. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So it's about getting that information, or what's going to be beneficial, not only for the elderly person that might be in your home, your auntie, your nan, your kuia, your koroa, but it's also for yourself to think about what might it be like be for me, looking into the future. How can I prepare for that time?
Yes.
Because, that song I sung the other day, I believe I can fly. I can believe I can touch the sky.
Yes.
I think about it every night and day.
Yeah.
So the question that I would ask is, when do you stop flying?
Yes. Yes.
Really, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't stop flying.
No.
Yeah. And so preparing yourself, having that knowledge is good. So, like, we've got some lawyers coming talking about preparing a will for you, having a EPOA. That's necessary in these days. Yeah, we've got some funeral directors coming, talking about planning for how are you going to celebrate, how would you like to celebrate the end of your life.
Yep.
Instead of just one day waking up and your loved one's not there, what do we do now? What do they want?
Yeah.
Because it stops all the stress and fighting. I like Neil Diamond's Old Man playing
Yes. Yeah.
at my funeral. I would like this to happen. I would like these.
Yeah.
Then there's no fighting.
And it's
It
about
takes the stress
removing
away.
taboos, isn't it?
It is.
Taking the lid off those kind of areas that we're not meant to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having that discussion so that when the time comes when you can't do some things for yourself, the family knows exactly what you want. Yeah.
Good. Well, I wish you well. I hope it goes very well. And I'm hoping that whoever does the show next week, probably be Michael, he can give you a mention.
Yes.
Just to remind people about, this is on Saturday week.
Yes, the 20th.
The 20th of March.
Yes.
Can I just say that we've got free shuttles that are going to be running to the South Wairarapa towns, from Martinborough to Masterton via Carterton, and then there's another one from Featherston to Masterton via Greytown, and they'll be departing Martinborough and Featherston at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. So there's two lots coming up from the South Wairarapa, and then heading home from 1 p.m. going back down south, and 3:15 p.m. But it's really important that people book a ride on those shuttles. The phone number is 06 377 0066. So please, this is a Wairarapa wide, so we want everyone coming that can, and so those shuttles are free.
And if they haven't written that number down, they can ring you at Age Concern.
Yes, they can, or refer to their midweek. All the information's on there. There's lots of, if you're not sure on what might be there for you, have a browse through the midweek. There's lots of information around.
Have a browse through them, tick the ones that you want to see first.
Yes.
Then go to the other stalls.
Yeah.
Because there is a chart that if you get 8 signatures from the storeholders, you go into a prize.
Ah, well. Well, I see there's a lot of exhibitors looking at this list. You've mentioned some of them already, but people like the Wairarapa Spinners and Weavers, the Wairarapa Quilters, the Wairarapa Heat Pump, Wisdom and Wellbeing. These are some of the exhibiting stalls that will be there. Changeability, counselling, family violence, really important area, isn't it?
It is.
And it'll be nice to have these folk all together and rubbing shoulders and comparing notes.
Well, that's about networking, isn't it?
Networking, yeah.
So we know what each other is doing. How can we be a community service or wraparound service when we don't know what's in the community?
Or we don't know the people and we are a bit nervous about approaching.
Yeah.
And you guys are pretty friendly. Yeah. But sometimes organisations don't always get the friendly thing at the beginning. They don't. The people who are perhaps answering the phone or on reception, a bit stressed or haven't been perhaps well informed, and they give a little bit of a negative message or a vibe, and it's important to get over that. So if you've ever had that happen to you folk, have another crack. Don't get put off.
Absolutely.
Because it is worth connecting with organisations like Age Concern and the other helping agencies that are around. Alzheimer's is a big one, Cancer Society, stroke, Parkinson's. They all have organisations now. Epilepsy, quite specialised in a way, but any of these conditions can touch us, and we're better off if we know more about it.
Well, if my car needs a mechanic, I don't go to the plumber.
No,
Hey.
right, exactly. Yeah.
I go to
Unless he's a mate, he's not going to charge you.
Well, if he's not going to charge you, okay, that might be helpful if you've got a radiator problem.
Can I just make a mention too, there's going to be a special display by Kathy Cameron. She's our local neighbourhood support coordinator around Neighbours Day, Aotearoa, that's coming up. Being part of neighbourhood support's a huge thing around connecting with your communities and finding those people that need support.
Yeah.
So she'll be there.
Neighbourhoods are a bit taken for granted, aren't they?
Absolutely.
But when they start to get organised and people meet each other, find out what is in the neighbourhood, who's there, and they start doing things together. There's an initiative happening in Gladstone called the Paddock Party coming up in April. And when I next do this show, I've got Helen Clayson, who lives out at Gladstone, coming to talk to me about the Paddock Party, which is happening at the Gladstone Sports Arena.
Okay, yes.
So they're turning the rugby paddock into a party paddock.
Oh dear.
I think it's the 10th of April.
Yeah.
So look out for that, folk. And that is very much to give a focus for people in Gladstone to come together. It's also welcoming people and a little bit fundraising. But the most important element in that process is the people doing something together, finding out who they are, and feeling stronger and happier and more content with where they are, because we're in this lovely place and all these lovely people around.
We are in a lovely place, and we do have lovely people. We do have lovely people in the Wairarapa. Yeah. So it'll be interesting because it's going back to the old days. Well, I feel anyway, in terms of everyone knew everyone and everyone knew everyone's business. And then when people started leaving, then you had that disconnect.
Yes.
Especially in the rural areas like Gladstone.
Yeah.
But it's coming back together to cement that family, that whānau attitude.
Yeah.
And it'll be great. Just to mention also that opening our Ageing with Attitude Expo will be the Right Honourable Dr. Aisha Vera. She's coming, so that's going to be awesome. And can have Mai Kawana, the local Te Ore Mai Kaumatua. He's going to do the karakia and the
He'll probably sing a song.
Well, he has to after the karakia, so that's tikanga.
Yes, exactly. And then we all sing a song too.
You're going to sing now,
I'm
Rob?
sorry I won't be there. I'm going to be in Auckland with my wife. We've got a holiday starting on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And we're heading off to the Auckland Arts Festival.
You're going to Auckland, really?
We're partly because the Polynesian Panthers are both being celebrated, and they're the creative advisors for the whole arts festival. And Shea Fu, who's the son of Tipi, who was one of the original ambassadors, well, he's now the cultural ambassador for the Polynesian Panthers, he's giving a concert in the Auckland Town Hall on Saturday, this Saturday. The 13th, and I've got tickets.
That's going to be...
I've never really listened to Shea Fu a lot, but I'm a little bit exploring reggae at the moment with Kaya, who's the local reggae guy. He has a radio show here on Thursday afternoons.
Yes.
A lot of te reo in that and his particular approach to things, and he's full immersion reggae. So I'm getting a little bit of a feel for what it might be like with Shea Fu. But they're doing The Navigator, revisiting that album that Shea Fu really put him on the map.
Well, I like what you just said there, Rob, in terms of broadening your own genre that you like. Because isn't that the same as health?
Yeah.
Isn't it the same
Yeah.
as just in a different field?
Yes, yes,
Because the more we open ourselves to alternatives,
yes.
the more help we can get. Because
Well,
one size doesn't fit all.
no. And we can allow other influences then,
Yes.
because health is about being influenced. It's
Yes.
not just being the same.
Mm.
We're all changing. And what do we let influence us?
That's right.
Yeah, and sometimes you've got to take risks.
Mm.
Sometimes there are issues of trust. Continuity is a big one. We don't get that right in our health system yet.
Mm.
You can't always get back to see the same doctor or the same nurse, for that matter.
Yeah.
And when you do, it makes such a difference.
It does, because it's that relationship thing again that's already built there.
Yeah.
And it's, who's this person here?
Well, it's
I don't
getting
know
to
them.
know. It's a whole,
Exactly.
it's
Yes,
careful. There are elements of
As you said,
uncertainty.
that trust comes up, and you go, I already have a relationship. I trust this person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And as I said, with those different influences,
Mm.
it's all risky.
Mm.
But you trust. If I come to the doctor,
Mm.
I trust him because he has some knowledge.
Can
So-
I play you one of my songs?
Great.
This is a song off our CD.
Did you write it?
I wrote the song,
Nice.
and it's called Uncertainty. Of an angel, and is only 16, wanting to look special, not sure what it means.
Friends talk about the way and how they want to roll. Is it right to rely on those things that can change the body and soul? She's needing an answer to a question she has to ask. The future's really daunting her, coming on so fast.
We're back again, folks. That was Uncertainty off Ultimately Free, which is an album recorded by Graphia in 2016, and we're in the process of remixing it because the quality's, it's all right, it's okay, it's where we were at the time. So, Susan and Anthony, it's been lovely to have you here and chat about these things. I've got to give a bit more information to the wider public now.
Okay.
Our audience hopefully have enjoyed hearing what you have to say, and it's been very special, I think, to know that you are here as age concern, new in the job. And is there a bit of a transition happening with the organisation? Are you representing a kind of a new direction for the organisation?
We're mainly moving out into the area of educating the public.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big push for us in the meantime anyway, so that people get the information that is needed, that we have. It's not only about us taking it all on board ourselves, but connecting whoever the elderly person is or the family is to the services that will best suit them for the needs that they have at the moment. Yeah, that's where we're really going. Yes, there'll be some things that we'll do because we specialise in that area, but there are multiple needs out there. It's not about putting things in silos, it's about sharing things. And so that we have an advisory board also that we go and get information from them, the doctors, lawyers, whoever we need, so that the best service can be given to that person who is needing that service. And it may not be our service that does it, but we'll be in there advocating for them and finding the service that would be right for them. So that's our focus. Wellbeing doesn't mean to say that you are stuck on the continuum. It's what can you do on that continuum. If it's one movement, that's great because you've advanced. It's about being well, mind, body, so a holistic approach to well-being. And you can follow up. You're going to be there tomorrow, aren't you? And you'll be there next week and next year. So we can keep growing, meeting the needs and strengthening rather than just filling in gaps or putting plasters over things. The other part that I want to emphasise, it is a strength-based approach. Everyone's got the ability in themselves. This is what Carl Rogers said anyway. Everyone in themselves has got the ability to transform. And that struggle is also
personal and necessary. It's not that we need to take away the struggle. But we find out what it is and how it is and see what we can do to help.
Exactly right, Rob.
Good.
So thank you for allowing us to be a part of this show today, Rob.
Very nice, and I'm sorry I won't be there, but I'll hear about it, and we'll be doing things together in the future, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, folks, I'm going to give you a bit more information about what's happening. I'd like to start by telling you something that's happening on Saturday next week also, and it'll be after the Aging with Attitude Expo. It's a movie outside at Le Gras Vineyard on Loop Line Road. It's the fantastic Mr. Fox, and we all know who plays Mr. Fox. George Clooney. I found that out last night. So it's $23 general admission. I think there's a family pass. Starts at 7 o'clock. Le Gras Vineyard, 42 Loop Line Road, Masterton, for the fantastic Mr. Fox. I think it's a fundraiser for the Opaki School. Now, we also have this Saturday, getting back to the near to happen, the Wairarapa Wines Harvest Festival at the Cliffs on Dakins Road. That starts at 11 o'clock and goes through to 5. It might be sold out, but you can check out whether there are still tickets available. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that you're going to get in if you just arrive. You need to find out where you can get a ticket from. There might be a waiting list, and it's only 10 minutes from Masterton and Carterton. It's a festival held in a beautiful sheltered riverside setting known as the Cliffs. And it's not all about wine. There's also food, music and other forms of entertainment. And it's a wonderful gala festival atmosphere. And I hope you have a lovely day for it. I won't be there myself. Also on Saturday, a little bit in competition, is the Castle Point Races. That's out at Castle Point Beach. starts at 10 o'clock, goes through to 4. I won't say any more about the Castle Point races because they're an iconic event which happen most years, weather permitting and sand conditions permitting, and both are in favour this Saturday. It is a $65. No, it's not. There's no admission for that, but I think you're expected to have a punt on the TAB. And you'll get lots of information about who's racing, what horses are there, and who's riding them. It's a great day out at Castle Point. Also on Saturday this weekend, probably for the first time, I don't think this is a regular event, there's the Clareville Lifestyle Auction at the Clareville Showgrounds on Chester Road. Starts at 10 o'clock, goes through till 3. The organisers would like you to invite you to this year's lifestyle auction. It's a time to clean out the garage shed. We know all about that. And all your excess items in the house that you don't use or need anymore, turn them into cash. So you don't just have to give things away. You can come there with your stuff, a bit like a car boot sale. Yeah, but it'll be attracting people from all over the Wairarapa. There's a sausage sizzle and bacon buffies. We won't talk about nutrition in this environment. You're allowed to eat for fun sometimes, but don't make a habit of it. And it's a gold coin entry fee. So Clareville Lifestyle Auction, 10 till 3, and you might be able to do that and still get out to the Castle Point races. Not quite. Wairarapa Wines, and you could, you're going to have to just pick one, I'm afraid. It's one event. We have a couple more things still to tell you about in the north of the Wairarapa. There is on March the 20th, not competing with the Aging Attitude Expo, because it's at 8 o'clock at night, is My Secret Life. A Spanish flamenco guitar player at the Regent Theatre in Payatua, Ian Sinclair. And he's a war zone reporter turned flamenco guitarist, performing concert items coloured with accounts of his time as an international news correspondent. That would be well worth going to. So Payatua is lucky enough to have Ian on Saturday night next week, and then the following Saturday on the 27th, no, let me just go to the 21st. The 21st, the day after, Ian is playing at the Old Dairy Factory in Norsewood. So that's Saturday, Payatua, Sunday, the 21st, the Spanish flamenco guitarist Ian Sinclair is playing at the Old Dairy Factory in Norsewood. That's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There is a $25 fee for that. So it's 8 o'clock on Saturday night at Regent Theatre, Payatua, 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon at the Old Dairy Factory in Norsewood. So that's a good plug for Ian. And well, I don't know if we did the Neighbours' Day at Pukaha when you were reading, Susan, but on the 20th, which is next Saturday, through till the 30th, so that's 10 days, they're having Neighbours at Pukaha. So that's, again, developing the community, opening themselves up to the local people. We all know where Pukaha is. It's the National Wildlife Centre on State Highway 2, just south of Eketahuna. It starts at 9 o'clock. It turns strangers into friends. First-time visitors are welcome. So it's a way of encouraging you folk to turn up at Pukaha, feel a bit special, and learn about the wonderful things they do for wildlife. And then the one I was going to tell you about was Jazz in the Park in Norsewood, which is on the 27th of March. And that's a deck chair concert at Thor Street Green in Norsewood. So it's outdoors, Thor Street Green, Norsewood, from 2 till 4 on the 27th. So good to plan ahead a little bit. What have I got for you now? I've got a Neil Finn song, a Crowded House song, which will come on if I push the right button. This is Isolation.
Like a dragonfly, float above the grass, trembling still. Think you might open up your heart, open up your heart. Someday you will. Yes, there's always a way. Yes, there's always a way to end this isolation.
When you rise like the Milky Way on a luminous night, the epic unknown. Though I try to find a sign of another life, I am alone.
And there's always a way. Yes, there's always a way to end this isolation. One step away from everyone. If you could open it up, you could connect it to us. One step is more than enough to get a look in. You could be already gone. I wish you would take me along to end this isolation. To end this isolation.
Isolation by Crowded House from an earlier album titled The Intriguer. Neil Finn and his mates telling a story that is fairly personal and fitting with our theme of age concern. So I'm going to wish you all well for the weekend ahead and the following week. I won't be back now for 3 weeks. MMP will be taken over, hopefully by Michael if he's here, but perhaps there'll be a bit of a lull in the proceedings. But we're going to go out now with Heart of Gold by Neil Young.
I know these new songs, maybe that's kind of weird. What? That's what's happening. It's very confusing. I just started playing this, get my thumb caught in it all the time. I just started playing this thing. And you have to carry a different one for every key you play in. You just can't move your hands to another position. So I have to carry a lot of things around my pockets now. My pockets always used to have holes in them, and I never, No, that's a line. No, that's a line. Forget that one. Or what? I know these new songs, maybe that's kind of weird. What?
Folks, I'm very sorry that clip of Neil Young is not going to fit into the time frame we have for the show. So this is Rob Maunsell from MMP signing off for another week, wishing you well, go well into the next few days and weeks. Bye for now.